YouTube, what up? It's your boy Almost Guilty, back with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. Let's get into it. So, Toronto has changed. It's changed quite a lot, but it's definitely changed. I want to make sure this video doesn't come off negative. I have a lot of love for Toronto. Let's get that straight up. I got a lot of love for Toronto, but it's changed, bro. And it really makes me feel away only because when Toronto was peak, I feel like a lot of people don't really think about it and like think about how it was then versus how it is right now is literally crazy. So this video is very important. It's very important for people who are currently living here, people who are in the creative scene, people who are in the think or even thinking about moving here. This is very important. So make sure you guys tap in with me here. So I would say Toronto was peak from the years of like 2014 to like 2019. I feel like 2019 was the climax, and we could get into that, but I'm gonna explain why. Let me just get this off. Like I say 2014 because 2014, I think it has a lot to do with Drake. Um, let me cook. It has a lot to do with Drake. Drake was really killing it those times, and I think he was like on this crazy upward trajectory, and it really put a spotlight on the city. Like it really did. Like when I would travel those times, people, if I said Toronto, they would just talk about Drake. Like it was like night and day from when the switch happened. So it had a lot to do with Drake, and he was putting the spotlight on Toronto. So many people were curious about it. Like people who hadn't been there, people people who are artists, people who are creatives, they were very, very like tapped into like what is going on in Toronto. If they could breed a star like this guy and someone who's capable of doing all the stuff he was doing at that time, there has to be more people like him. So I feel like a lot of celebrities, a lot of artists, a lot of athletes, they were moving to Toronto at that time. Like people were moving here, like crazy nonstop. They're on the scene here, having events here, doing dinner parties here, doing concerts here, doing like we became one of the main stops. You know what I mean? So it was a crazy time, and I think about all the opportunities that came with that. You have to really think about it. It's like if you were a photographer, or you were a club promoter, or if you were a DJ, or if you were an artist, like or a fashion designer, or like there's so many different things. Like if you were any of those things, you had this constant opportunity of huge celebrities, influencers, athletes coming to the city every single week. Like it was actually nuts when you really think about it. And that went on for a long time. Like there was also like so many underground artists, rappers, singers that were exploding that time because so many people were just wanting to be tapped into like the Toronto music scene at the time. So we had so many artists bursting through, and when I think about now, it's very different, and I don't feel bad for the new artists, but I really, really want to show love to them because it is much harder now. I think a lot about that. It's like if some of these artists were to come out at that time, I think they would be a lot further because we had this spotlight on us that was crazy, and it's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. So I definitely think about that. I definitely think about the the party scene. The party scene has changed, bro. Like it's crazy. Like when I think about Toronto now, it's just like how many clubs are there? There are like three clubs here. There are like three clubs that people like are having parties at, people that are like going to all the time, there's like three of them. And when you think about those times, there were so many. There were so many. There were so many. And they were hosted by celebrities every single week. Like that does not happen anymore. It does not happen anymore. And that's pretty crazy when you really think about it. And what I really wanted to talk about is even like the creative incubators. There was like so many programs that were really helping creatives in Toronto get opportunities, build their portfolios, and do amazing stuff like that. And there are still a few, but I remember the main one people would talk about was House. House was this creative. I don't want to say it was because I think they still operate, but they operate in a like a different kind of format that's not really like how it used to be. But they started a whole school where you could apply to, and if you got to go there, they would help you get jobs and opportunities. And I thought that was dope. Like I thought it was dope. Like even OVO, like OVO had a summit as well for creatives and entrepreneurs and stuff. And it's just like, wow, like those opportunities are not really out here anymore. So it kind of makes me feel not sorry, but yeah, it does make me feel sorry. It makes me feel sorry for all of the new artists and creatives that are trying to get opportunities right now, because we're kind of back into the situation we were before those years, and it's tough. It's tough. A lot of people now, they'd rather move away. And how can I say you'd be wrong to do that? Like, I definitely can't say like, yo, you're wrong. Like we can do it here. Like, what I mean? I definitely wouldn't say that, but you know, it's sad that people think that way. That's like, yo, I'm not gonna reach my peak if I stay here. And we're supposed to be one of the big major cities. And we have some of the biggest artists in the world that are from here, but people constantly think that they can't burst through here anymore. And that's kind of a problem. I definitely feel a way for those people. And um it kind of, I'll tell you what it makes me feel though. It makes me feel like I want to go harder. So, like, that's kind of just where I'm at. But this video isn't about me, so we'll just keep it at that. You know what I mean? But it's basically just saying, it's just like all the artists, all the creatives out there, you guys have ideas. Like even the people in tech, people, who just have an idea. Like now's the time, man. Hit the button and promote yourself as someone from here that's trying to make it big, man. Like I really think we need more of that. We need more of that because people are literally like trying for like a day and being like, yeah, I gotta move to LA. I gotta move to New York. And you can't say they're wrong. You know what I mean? Like there's definitely things that need to change, and I hope they do. You know what I mean? I hope they do. So it definitely has a lot to do with the current state of this city. And I think about 2016 a lot because 2016 is like this myth for everyone. Like 2016 is like 2016 was like the best summer ever. Like it was the most lit summer ever. And like it exists like that in so many people's lives. And I think it has a lot to do with just like where everything was at the moment, like music, movies, like certain events, like festivals and stuff that were happening that summer. And Toronto was right up in there. Toronto was right up in there, and all those cities that had the crazy 2016 summer, man. And I remember it because I was a part of it. You know what I mean? And we don't got nothing near that right now. And it kind of just shows like I remember we got All Star Weekend in 2016. Now I'm gonna ask you, what in the world is Toronto hosting All Star Weekend in the dead winter in 2016? And I'll tell you, it's because we were crazy lit. Like we were so lit that they had All Star Weekend in -30 in Toronto, and we had one of like the best dunk contests of like all time. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's just like those times, Toronto, and I think that was Kobe's last All Star game. Rest in peace. But I'm just saying, like, wow, bro, like think about that. It's just like we went from that all the way to 2019 winning the NBA championship and having like stunned the whole world, beat Steph Curry, like you know what I mean? Like this sounds like stuff out of a storybook. And now we're not saying that much. And it's not just sports, you know, it has a lot to do with even like the creative communities and groups that were going crazy at that time. Like I remember OVO Sound Radio was such a huge hub for new artists and like unheard music that was lit that people uh like want to be put onto. I remember like Nav is from OVO Sound Radio. I heard of a lot of like 88 Glam. Like there's so many artists that like burst onto the scene during those times. Like Beast Mode. Like I remember Beast Mode was doing like these like private house parties with Travis Scott and like all this like Kanye was coming to like clubs out here. Like it was crazy. It was crazy. Like could you even imagine if you were in Toronto right now, could you even imagine these things happening? Like it's literally not even close. So it's just like right now we're in a state where nothing's happening. It's just a whole lot of nothing, a whole lot of stagnant, like just like standstill, you know, and it wasn't always like that. So I definitely want to change that. You know what I mean? I definitely want to change that. I think about that a lot. Where it's just like, what does it mean to be from Toronto in 2025? Like, think about that. Anyone that's from here, let me know. It's like, what does it mean to be from this city in 2025? Like, how would you show that? It's a serious question. Trust me, I've been thinking about it a lot. So I'm gonna leave you guys with that. What do you think it means to be from Toronto in 2025? And it's like, how would you show that to someone? Like, how would you pitch it to someone right now if they're thinking about moving here? It's like, say, like they're an artist. They'd be like, I'm an artist. I'm thinking about a new place to move. I'm thinking about Toronto. What would you say? Like, how would you convince them to do it? It's tough. It's not an easy thing to do. And when I think about those times, it was very easy to do. So I'm gonna definitely leave you guys with that. And just just some quick food for thought, man. Like it doesn't have to be a negative thing. It's just like knowing where we're at and being just like, yo, I want to change that, and I definitely want to change that, and I'm definitely wanting to motivate and inspire some of you guys to do that as well. It's just like we gotta show people that we have stuff going on, that we have a culture here that's different from everything else out there, and that we know that we could be just as lit, just as popping, and just as um, creative as any other city out there. So I'm gonna definitely leave you guys with that. And make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and tell me, hit me in the comments, answer that question for me. What do you think it means to be from this city in 2025? And it's just like, if you had to brag about it, what would you say? What's happened?